Can't do this without the Diet Coke. They should sponsor me already. Hello everyone, as you can tell I don't have any makeup on. We're about to change that. Today I'm going to talk to you about consumerism. So I don't really have, excuse the paint on my hand, it won't come off. I don't really have a plan for this video, but I thought I would talk about doing Project Pan, because I've done it for a few years now. And I always make a video about it at the end of the year, where I go through all of my empties from the whole year and also talk a little bit about consumerism. But mostly the main focus of the video is my empties for the year. So I thought I'd make a video sort of talking about what Project Pan has done to my makeup habits. So we'll start off with the fact that I'm clearly still wearing makeup. That hasn't changed. I still enjoy doing it. I still enjoy the process of it. I enjoy how I look with it on. I enjoy the creative elements of it. None of that has changed. So none of the good parts of makeup have changed. However, I have changed my opinion on it in a few other ways. So basically Project Pan is supposed to be this thing where it's your goal to hit pan or finish or hit the bottom of as many makeup products as you can before you buy any new ones. And I've looked this up and it doesn't really seem to be a massive thing. I saw it mentioned in a video once and looked it up and found like one article on it, so I don't think this is a big thing, but it is a thing that I have been doing for a while now. And the idea is to sort of use up what you have before you buy anything else, as a comment on the fact that most of the people who are into makeup have more makeup than they will ever need. However, I changed that a little bit, and I don't just hit pan. I have to absolutely finish everything, and I keep everything, and I go through it at the end of the year and talk about how much product I've used and how much money I've spent on makeup in a year. Now this isn't necessarily money that I've spent, it's just money that is spent by someone, whether I got it as a gift or as a promotional thing or whatever. And every year I come to the same conclusion, and that is that the makeup that we get has more product in it than we will ever need. And I stand by that. Like, most makeup that we get, we buy in excess. And this goes for pretty much everything. So like foundations and things that you buy are probably going to be fine if you wear them every day. But most things, you're not going to be able to finish before it goes out of date. Now for some things, that's not the end of the world. I mean, who's thrown out, I don't know, a blusher because it's been open a bit longer than it should be? But for things like eye makeup, that is actually quite a big deal. And like, that seems to be what people buy the most of, and it's really changed how I've seen things like palettes. Sorry, there's probably that noise every time I pull my brush back. Let's move my brush pot. Where can it go? It can go here. Every time I see someone going on about like a new palette, or I see one on Instagram, or I see like an advert for one, 90% of the time, all I'm thinking about is that is like an excessive amount of makeup. And I just look at it and think that is a year's supply. And like, these palettes aren't really designed for you to, I guess they are kind of designed for you to own one palette and that'd be the only thing that you own. But not many people are doing that. And when I started this a few years ago, I realised that like for things like eyeshadows, I have enough to last me the rest of my life. Like, I could never buy an eyeshadow again and still wear eyeshadow pretty much every single day and never run out. And like, I don't want to do that because that's gross, but I'm still using eyeshadow from like, that's like 5 years old. It's been open for like 5 years, and like, I don't want to do that, but I don't want to waste it either. So you guys also might know that I depotted all of my eyeshadows and put them in one of these Freedom systems, and this is another thing that's changed how I look at makeup, because this allowed me to see everything at once. So this is, I have a few more eyeshadows than this, but this isn't a ridiculous amount of eyeshadows. This is probably not an unstandard amount. This is probably a small amount for people who are into makeup. But I could not get through this in a lifetime. If you're struggling with this, if you're struggling with having loads and loads of makeup and you want to cut down, I'd really recommend doing this. I do have a video on it. But basically it means that you see everything, so you use everything. And I find myself using shadows that I normally wouldn't do because they're all in one place. So I would definitely recommend doing this, and check out my other video on it. If you have any questions about depotting, then let me know. I can answer those. I don't know, I don't really know what the point of this is. I guess the point of it is that we should be buying less makeup. I guess I'm just here to talk about how it's changed my view of makeup, and like the main thing that it's done is make it, I don't know, it's made me see it from the other point of view. Like, there is no need to have a million different shades of like lipstick. Like, how many lipsticks exist in the world? Like, how many? Like hundreds of thousands? More than that? Millions of different shades of lipsticks? Probably. And that is, I look a bit crazy, we'll get there. That is excessive. We don't need any more new shades of lipstick. The ones that we have are fine. And we could be diverting resources to things that are much more beneficial than designing a new lipstick shade that probably already exists in a different company. That's sort of like sacrilege to say in like the makeup community, because it's like, oh, they're not all the same. But that, I agree, they're not. You might have lots of them, but there's still going to be one that exists. Like, we don't need any new ones. We can chill on that. And it's also made me see from an outside perspective, I guess, like, I don't know, how consumerist it is, like how much you should be like, oh, this new foundation's come out, so I need to buy it. Like, no you don't. No you don't. You just don't. And like, when you're in the mode of sort of, oh, I have to try all these new things and I'm excited to try it all, you don't really see how unnecessary and how consumerist it is. And then as soon as you step away from it, you go, actually, this is such a massive waste. Like, I'm buying these products to use them 3 or 4 times before they go out of date. And it's just, I don't know, a bit ridiculous. And I'm not necessarily trying to be like, oh, I'm better than you guys who buy all these foundations. Like, you know, life is short. And if that's what you need to do to be happy, that's what you need to do. But what if you don't? I guess is what I'm trying to say. And I think a lot of this comes down to like makeup companies. I don't think they need to be being as ridiculous as they are with like churning out new products of things. Like, you can chill on that a little bit. We're good for new products. And also, I'd like to see cheaper products with less makeup in it. And this is also something that I've said in Project Fan videos, and that is that it is almost impossible to use all the products that makeup companies are giving us. And I understand that there is going to be some outliers, like makeup artists or people who do like crazy fun makeup looks all the time. They are going to need that amount of product, but that is an outlier. And there seems to be this thing that like, the more the better. Now, there is some exceptions to this, like foundation. If you're using the same foundation every day, you're probably going to get through it relatively quickly. But you could half the size of most eyeshadow palettes and it will be fine. And people will be paying less for it. These things would be more accessible. They'd be better for the environment because there'd be less waste. And like, nobody would notice, because how many of these things are you actually finishing? Like, in reality, have you ever completely finished an eyeshadow palette? Now, I don't mean palettes that have like blushes and eyebrows and things on them. I mean like just an eyeshadow palette. Maybe one in your entire life, if that. Like, it's just unnecessary. And I also think using systems like this is a good way around this. So most of these were depotted from palettes, but what you can do is just buy the individual colours that you're actually going to use, and then you don't end up with all these shades that you're just going to throw out, which is A, better for the environment, B, better for your wallet, and C, you're not sitting with all these like disgusting eyeshadow shades that you're not going to use for years and years and years, like I am. And I know what you're probably saying, it's like, Amy, why don't you just throw them out? Like, they're old, they're probably a bit gross, why don't you just throw them out? And like, I don't want to waste it. Like, these are expensive products. These are not cheap. Pretty much everything in here is Urban Decay, except for this one here, which is Inglot. Like, it's not cheap. And it's not like it's not good quality stuff, but that's not the point. The point is that people shouldn't have to be spending all this money on products where like 50% of it they're going to throw out. And I just don't think it's a thing that I see talked about. I see things like, oh, you don't need to buy that foundation to use it twice. I see that sort of mentioned. What I don't see mentioned is that companies are putting too much product in their product, and I think people are scared to say that because it's quite a controversial thing to say. People are like, oh well, of course we want more product, but I really think, I don't know, doing this has made me question that. Like, why do we need more product? Could we just have less? And would that be fine? Because I think it might be fine. And some of you guys probably disagree with me. Like, I'm not at all saying that these products should be taken off the market, but there's a reason that I think that travel sizes are so sought after in these big brands. Like Smashbox does travel sizes of their matte liquid lipstick, and I love their matte liquid lipstick. And the travel sizes, every year they bring them out as like Christmas special for the travel sizes of these lipsticks, and they sell out every year because people want them. And I don't know if there's a reason that the companies are doing this. Like, is there a financial reason, or I don't know, some other logistical reason why it's easier for them to put more in a product and charge more than it is for them to put less in it? Maybe it's because they know you're going to throw it out and buy more, and they can get away with. That's probably it, isn't it? That's probably it. They know that if they put more product in it, they can charge more for it, and they know that you're probably not going to use it all. So when you throw it out because it's gone out of date, or goes a bit strange because it's been sitting around for too long, then you're going to have to buy some more. And you're going to buy more than you need. That's it, isn't it? The eyeliner that I just used, this one here, it's not the type of eyeliner I normally would use. You probably see, it's like a big chunky pencil one rather than a liquid one, which I normally use. And when I ran out my liquid one, I thought, oh, I should buy a new liquid one instead of using this one. And then I used it, and it was fine. It's not my favourite. But can anyone tell the difference? Probably not. Apart from me, no. Nobody's paying that much attention to my face apart from me. Except maybe when you watch these videos. And I guess that's another thing that's taught me, is that sometimes you can use non-ideal products. And it's fine. You don't need to be necessarily following the trends of what's like trendy to use for a product. Like, I just did my eyebrows with eyeshadow, and they're fine. Are they the best eyebrows ever? No. Do they work? Absolutely yes. You don't need to be following necessarily what's the trendy thing to do, because it's the trendy thing to do. If a product works, it works. Who cares? Like, up until recently, still used Maybelline Dream Matte Mousse foundation, and it looked fine. And there was this whole thing about, like, I don't know, it's like this meme that, like, people used it in middle school, and, like, it's what you use when you first use a makeup, and it looks so bad. And this has nothing to do with the foundation, and everything to do with the fact that you're just applying it badly, and the foundation itself is absolutely fine. There we go. There's my makeup done. I'm not going to put lipstick on because I'm wearing a mask later, so that seems like a waste of time. See, now you can't even see it. I've just immediately covered it up. Yeah. These are some slightly disarticulated thoughts. If you agree with me, let me know down in the comments. If you disagree with me on anything, then let me know as well. I'd like to continue this conversation down in the comments, because it's a thing that's been sort of in my brain for a few years now, while I've been doing Project Pan, which I'm still doing and will continue to do. So yeah, if you have any requests or questions, then let me know down in the comments. New videos every Wednesday, like, subscribe, and all that jazz, and I'll see you next week. Bye.